Hi, this is Brad Linder with Liliputing, and I'm here with Asus at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, taking a look at some of their new mini PCs coming in 2019. And when I say mini, I mean pretty mini. Like this small one here is sort of similar in form factor to an Intel NUC or NUC style computer, but this is a fanless device with an Intel or with an AMD Carrizo E27015 processor. This is one of the first AMD-powered mini PCs that Asus is releasing, and it's going to be one of the more affordable devices based on that sort of laptop class processor. It's a small device with USB Type-C and Type-A ports on the front, a couple more USB ports on the back, and let's shift the lighting a little bit here so you can actually see what I'm looking at when I say that. Ethernet, HDMI, and this one also has a is that serial connector. So you can see that this is something that can be designed for consumers that could also be used in sort of more enterprise solutions where something like a serial port is going to be more useful. Moving up here, we've got something that looks almost exactly the same, but it's not actually fanless. It's the Asus PN61 mini PC, and it's got a more high-power processor. This one's going to be available with up to an Intel Core i7 Whiskey Lake CPU, and so it's going to have a fan for active cooling under the hood. It also has a Thunderbolt 3 option, which is going to drive up the price a little bit. So whereas the first one we looked at is going to sell from maybe somewhere in the $400 range, this one could be as much as $700, but that'll come pre-configured with memory storage and probably ship with Windows. You can see in terms of ports, we've got that Thunderbolt 3 port on this version, HDMI, USB-C, Ethernet, what is that, 2 USB ports and a power jack, another USB Type-C, headset, and USB Type-A. Moving on up, we've got the Asus PB50 mini PC, which is actually one of the more interesting ones here because it's one of the other first AMD-powered mini PCs from Asus. This one has a Ryzen 5 3550H CPU. It's got a larger footprint, but it's actually thinner than some of the others if you take a look here. And on the front, you can see we've got 4 USB ports, separate mic and headphone jacks, USB Type-C, and on the back, a bunch of USB, or actually 2 USB ports, multiple display ports, actually 3 USB ports, I can count, display port, HDMI, Ethernet, and there's an option for a third sort of customizable port here on the back. In this version we're looking at, there's a display port. Other options will be COM port or VGA, depending on what it is that you're using it for. And so when you buy this, you might find some pre-configured options at various retailers, or you might be able, if you're a business customer and you want to sort of reach out to Asus and see what's available. This version also can be stacked and uses a mount so that you can add additional things. So what we're looking at here is the PB60G, which is an Intel processor as opposed to AMD, but underneath it is a graphics dock. And so while we've got a similar sort of looking design here on the top, when you look at the back, you get 4 more mini display ports here, and that's because we've actually got on the bottom, what is this, Quadro?
It's NVIDIA Quadro.
NVIDIA Quadro graphics.
Should be the P1000.
P1000. So it's going to add sort of capabilities for doing graphics work or video editing or just driving multiple displays if you wanted to use it for signage. So you can make it into, I don't know if I would say a mobile workstation, well, sort of a small workstation or a digital signage type display or a kiosk system or something else. So these are all sort of designed as systems that could be used for home or corporate use. You could use it for digital signage, for instance. You could use it for security systems. You could use it in your home media center or as general purpose computing devices. While we're looking at this version that has the graphics dock, there are other optional docks that connect actually via PCIe connector that's sort of hidden right there. Other options include a optical disk drive and a sound card. So depending on if you wanted to use it for audio editing workstation or something along those lines, you could do that as well. So that's a quick look at the 4 new mini PCs that Asus is showing off. Did I miss anything significant here? So you can find more details at liliputing.com, as well as some photos in slightly better lighting than what we're looking at here. So if you didn't see any of those ports or wanted to take a closer look at some of the specifications, head over to liliputing.com. You can also check out Liliputing on YouTube for more videos from the Consumer Electronics Show in January 2019. This is Brad Linder.